everyone, and welcome back to the English with Eliana channel. How are you today? Today I am here with Ryan, and today we are going to talk about better ways to say I don't know in English.
Hello, everyone. I'm very happy to be here today on the English with Eliana channel. Let's start our conversation.
It is so wonderful to have you here, Ryan. How was your morning today?
I had a very good morning, Eliana. Thank you for asking. The weather is so beautiful today.
Oh, really? Did you walk here to the studio?
Yes, I did. I walked all the way here in the sun. It was very relaxing and peaceful.
That sounds lovely, Ryan. Walking in the sun always puts me in a great mood, too. Did you get your morning coffee yet?
Oh, you know me so well. Yes, I have my big cup of coffee right here next to me.
Is it good today?
It is extra delicious today. Hot and sweet. It is absolutely perfect.
That is great because you will need that energy. We have a fantastic topic for our listeners today.
Awesome. I love our topics because they're always so useful for daily life. What exactly are we talking about today, Eliana?
Today, we are going to talk about a very common phrase in English. It is the phrase, I don't know.
I don't know. That is one of the very first phrases every English student learns. It's simple and useful.
It is very useful, Ryan, but sometimes saying I don't know all the time can sound a little repetitive.
Let me think about that for a second. Yes, I suppose you're right.
It can even sound a bit cold or distant if you say it too short.
That is true. If someone asks me a question and I just say, I don't know, it might sound like I don't want to talk to them.
Exactly. It can sound like you are not interested in the conversation at all.
So, what are we doing today then?
Today, we want to share some natural, friendly, and professional alternatives with our friends.
That is a wonderful idea, Eliana. It will help our listeners sound more natural, just like native speakers. Where should we start?
Let's start with a small story from my morning today. It's a perfect example of what we mean.
Oh, a story. You know I love your morning stories, Eliana. Please tell me everything that happened.
Well, this morning I went to that new bakery near my house to get a fresh croissant.
Croissants. I love that place. They have the best chocolate croissants there. They're always so warm.
Yes, they do. Anyway, I was standing in line waiting for my turn to order.
Okay, and what happened in the line?
A tourist walked into the bakery. He looked very confused and held a big paper map in his hands.
Oh, a tourist with a map. He was probably looking for a famous place and got lost. Did he ask for help?
Yes, he did. He went up to the young lady working at the bakery counter.
What did he ask her?
He asked her, "Excuse me, is the central train station near here?"
Ah, the train station. That is tricky because it's actually a bit far from that bakery. Did she know where it was?
No, she didn't know because she just started working at the bakery this week.
Oh no, so did she just say, I don't know?
No, she didn't. She didn't say, "I don't know" at all.
Really? What did she say instead? I'm very curious now to hear her words.
She smiled warmly and said, "I'm not really sure. Let me check my phone map for you."
Wow, I'm not really sure. That sounds very polite and kind.
Yes, exactly. By adding "really sure" and offering to check, she sounded very sweet and helpful.
The tourist must have felt happy immediately.
He did. He smiled and felt relaxed right away.
That is a great phrase to use. I'm not really sure.
I feel like it is perfect for shops, restaurants, or when talking to people we do not know very well.
You are completely right, Ryan. It is a soft phrase. It shows you want to help even if you do not have the answer right away. That is beautiful. You know, a very similar thing happened to me at work last Tuesday.
Oh, really? Tell me about it. What happened at the office?
Well, I was sitting at my desk working on a big structural drafting report for the week.
Okay, were you very busy?
Yes, I was. Suddenly, my boss walked into the room very quickly.
Oh, the boss. Was he looking for something important or urgent?
Yes, he looked very stressed and worried. He looked at me and asked, Ryan, do you know where the new project reports are?
Oh no, the project reports are always very important for meetings. Did you know where they were?
Honestly, Eliana, I had no idea. Someone else moved them the day before, so my mind was completely blank.
That is a scary moment with the boss. So, what did you say to him? Did you say, I don't know?
No, I didn't. I remembered that just saying I don't know can sound a bit lazy or careless to a boss.
That is so true. So, what did you say? Tell our listeners. I want to hear.
I stood up, smiled, and said, I'm not quite sure, sir. Let me ask the manager for you.
That is fantastic, Ryan. Good job. I'm not quite sure is absolutely perfect for the workplace.
Yes, it worked perfectly. The boss smiled, said, Thank you, Ryan, and waited calmly. It saved the day and made you look professional. It really did. It shows that you are responsible and active. You don't just stop the conversation with a dead end.
Exactly. It keeps the communication open and positive.
So now we have two great phrases. I'm not really sure and I'm not quite sure.
Yes, they are both wonderful and safe for formal or polite situations.
Excellent. But Eliana, what about when we are in a more relaxed situation?
What do you mean? Like talking to friends?
Yes, like talking to our friends or family at home. What can we say then?
Oh, for casual situations, we have some really fun phrases. One of my favorites is, I have no idea.
I have no idea. Oh yes, I hear this one in movies all the time. It is very popular, right?
Yes, it's incredibly common. We use it when we have absolutely zero knowledge about something.
Can you give us an example of how a friend might use it in daily life?
Sure. Imagine you and I are watching television at home, and I ask you, Hey, Ryan, what time does the grocery store close tonight?
Ah, if it's the weekend, the hours change all the time. So if I don't know, I can say, I have no idea, Eliana. Let's check online.
Yes, exactly. It sounds totally natural and fits a relaxed friendship perfectly.
That is so easy to use. I have no idea. I will definitely start using that with my friends.
It's a great one to practice. It flows very smoothly when you say it quickly in a conversation.
By the way, friends, if you're enjoying this conversation today, please don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the English with Eliana channel. It really helps us make more lessons for you.
Yes, please like and subscribe. We love seeing your support. It helps us grow our global community.
It really does. It is amazing to see comments from so many different people every week.
It is beautiful. Now, Ryan, let's look at some learning points here.
Oh yes, let's explain the words we are using. This is our learning section.
We used the word no. The word no starts with a silent letter K. We do not pronounce the K.
Yes, that is a great pronunciation tip. It is just no, like the word no.
Exactly. And what is the past tense of no?
The past tense of no is knew. It is an irregular verb, K-N-E-W.
Perfect. For example, yesterday I knew the answer, but today I forgot.
That is a very clear example sentence for beginners.
Thank you. Now let's talk about the word sure. It sounds like it starts with SH, but it is spelled with an S. S-U-R-E.
Yes, sure. It means you are certain about something.
Exactly. Now, Ryan, let's get back to our casual phrases. I have another great one for you.
Awesome. What is it? I'm ready for the next one.
The next phrase is, I have no clue.
Wait, I have no glue? Like the sticky white glue we use for paper?
No, Ryan, not glue with a G, clue with a C. C-L-U-E.
Ah, Glue. Oh my goodness, I was so confused for a second.
I thought, why do you need glue for a question? Are we doing an art project?
No art project today, Ryan. A clue is a piece of information or a hint that helps you find an answer.
Oh, like a detective story, like Sherlock Holmes looking for clues with a magnifying glass.
Yes, exactly. So when you say I have no clue, it means you don't even have a small hint. You know nothing at all about the topic.
Ah, that makes so much sense now. I feel silly, but I learned something new.
I have no clue. Let me try to use it in a sentence.
Go ahead, try it out.
If you ask me, Ryan, do you know who won the cricket match last night? And I didn't watch it, I can say, I have no clue.
Yes, that is perfect. You see, you used it correctly on the first try.
Thank you. It feels very natural and fun to say.
I actually have a small story about this phrase from last weekend.
Oh, tell me what happened last weekend.
Well, I was walking in the big city park near my house on Sunday afternoon.
Sounds very peaceful. Did someone stop you to talk?
Yes, a man came up to me holding a very strange electronic device with lots of buttons.
Oh, what a mystery. What was it?
He looked at me and asked, "Excuse me, do you know how to change the settings on this specific model?"
Wow, what a strange question to ask a stranger in the park. Did you know how to fix it?
No, I had never seen that machine in my life, so I smiled and said, "I'm sorry, I have no clue about electronics."
That is a wonderful real-life example, Eliana. I have no clue was the perfect response for a random question like that.
Yes, he laughed and said, "No problem, thank you anyway." It was a very pleasant interaction.
See, you don't need to feel bad when you do not know something.
Using these phrases makes the interaction light and friendly. It takes away the pressure of needing to know everything.
Exactly. Now, I have one more phrase for you today. This one is very informal.
Ooh, I love the informal ones. What is the phrase, Ryan?
The phrase is beats me.
Wait, beats me like hitting someone in a fight?
No, no, Eliana, please don't look so scared. Nobody is hitting anyone here today.
Thank goodness, because I was thinking, wow, English speakers are very aggressive when they don't know something.
No, not at all. It's just an old idiom. It means the question is too difficult for you, like the question, beat your brain.
Ah, like a game. The question won and my brain lost, so it beat me.
Yes, exactly. You can think of it just like that. It means I don't have the answer. The question is too hard.
Wow, that is a very cool expression. Beats me. Let me practice the pronunciation. Beats me. So I should definitely not say beats me to a manager or a teacher.
Definitely not. If they ask for an assignment and you say beats me, they might think you do not care at all.
Yes, that would be a big mistake. I will save beats me for casual things like movies, music, or food.
Yes, that is the best way to use it. For example, if I ask you, Eliana, why do cats sleep so much during the day?
I can just shrug my shoulders and say, beats me. Maybe they are just lazy.
Yes, that is a perfect response. It sounds supernatural and relaxed.
Friends, let's practice right now. Go down to the comments section below and type the phrase "no clue" if you are enjoying this lesson.
Yes, write no clue in the comments. It's a great way to show us that you are practicing.
I can't wait to read their answers. It is a very fun way to learn together.
I love how much variety we can have in English. It is not just about rigid grammar rules.
I agree with you, Ryan. It's about how people really speak in real life.
Learning these phrases makes me feel much more confident about having everyday conversations.
That makes me so happy to hear. Confidence is the most important thing when you are learning a new language.
Yes, because when you only know I don't know, you feel very limited. Now we have options depending on the situation.
Exactly. You can choose to be professional, polite, friendly, or super casual. You have the control now.
It is a very good feeling. I'm going to try to use at least one of these new phrases this week.
That is the best way to practice. Don't just listen to us. Go out and use the words in your real life.
Yes, go to a coffee shop, talk to a classmate, or practice with a friend.
Now, Ryan, let's summarize some of the great phrases we used in our conversation today.
That is a good idea. Let's list them for our friends who are taking notes.
For formal and polite situations, you can use I'm not really sure or I'm not quite sure.
And for casual situations with friends, we have I have no idea, I have no clue, and beats me.
Perfect. These phrases will make your English sound so much more natural.
Do you have any last advice for our listeners today before we finish, Eliana?
Yes, try to write these phrases down on a sticky note and put it on your computer screen or fridge.
Oh, that is a great trick. Why does that help?
Because when you see the phrases every day while making coffee or working, your brain remembers them much faster without studying hard.
Wow, that is a simple and brilliant tip. It's easy to do and very effective.
Yes, just a small trick to help your memory. Try it out this week, everyone.
Well, our time is running out for today's episode. The time went by so fast.
It always does when we are having a good conversation and learning together.
Thank you to everyone who watched or listened to us today.
Yes, remember to share this video with your friends who are also learning English. Your support helps us make more lessons.
Exactly. We are so happy to be a part of your journey.
Today was a lot of fun.
I enjoyed our conversation today.
Thank you everyone for listening.
See you in the next episode.
Goodbye everyone.
Bye.